Hello everybody, how's everybody doing today? I'm doing okay. It is Thursday, but I'm sorry I'm not taking out the trash today because something else came up that pissed me off more. I guess you could say that he's a trash bag too. But before I get started, I just want to say something about yesterday's video. I mentioned the passing of Jerry Connolly from Congress. And as I rewatched my video, I believe I came off just a little too glib because my mind was concentrated on other things, and I do apologize for that. He was a good man, served the country for years. Just saying, it's sad when anybody goes, but I just wish that he rests in eternal bliss, and I wish strength for the family in the coming days ahead. I am so sorry for sounding like a jerk. I didn't mean to. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I appreciate you very much. Please leave kind messages. That's all I'm saying. Like me, love me, share me. And to my hangers-on, I appreciate when you catch me up in something and bring it to my attention. Cheers. Isn't that what friends are supposed to do? Just saying. I do the best I can with what I got. Some days my best isn't good enough, but neither is anybody else's. We all do what we can when we can, hopefully. So let's get into this, shall we? I'm going to talk about the incident yesterday in Washington, D.C. Now, it was a violent incident that happened last night at the Capitol Jewish Museum when apparently there was a targeted attack on two people that were coming out of the museum. They were Jewish embassy officials in Washington, D.C., and they are now gone forever. They said there were other injuries, but I haven't heard anything about that yet. These two young people, she was only 26, were slated to be engaged in Israel in the summer, well, a couple weeks from now. It's funny that they would be targeted coming out because everybody was talking about anti-Semitism and everything else. This benefit was to get aid to Gaza for Palestinians. And apparently the person that, I'm going to say attacked for lack of a better word, was, they're saying he's a lefty. But you know what, in times like this, granted, a lot of times it is somebody with far-right ideals, but I just think these people, I don't blame it on mental illness. I really don't. I blame it on they have a plan and they're just evil bastards. That's what I blame it on. They have a plan and they carry it out. Most of them have a manifesto. So you can't really blame it on this side, that side, whatever. Sometimes there's just some people out there with a plan and they're not mentally ill. They just have a plan and they're determined to carry it out. This guy came from his home state, checked a gun in at the airport and brought that with him to Washington because apparently he was at a conference for his work or something. That's the new stuff that's coming out. But right now there's a forensic team just going crazy, going through everything at his place, at his home. So there's that. Trump is Israel's best friend. He loves Jewish people. And he condemns the attacks on Jewish schools and synagogues and places of work. But he surrounds himself with those exact people that he says he condemns on camera. His behavior over his almost 80 years has been atrocious, they say, and by they, I mean anyone who has ever known him, have said from his hiring of undocumented workers because they're cheap, to having his real estate employees who worked at his rental businesses in Queens where they placed a C next to anybody's name where the people happened to be colored. That's what it was back in the day. So don't get on me. That's what the C was. To making sure no black people counted his money in the casinos, whether in the cages, at the blackjack tables, any black people working at his casinos on the floor. If him and his missus there, Ivana, come in, all the black people had to disappear off the floor. Didn't want anybody working in the bank that was black that was going to touch his money. Apparently only Jews were allowed to count his money. That may sound like an offhanded compliment, but it isn't. It's the old trope about Jewish people are the money makers. Jews can control the stock market. They own all the banks. They own everything. But George Soros is an enemy. George Soros is the devil, who is a Hungarian Jewish man who was, as a kid, during World War II, his parents fled. And to keep him safe, his parents left him behind with a family friend because he was old enough where he could pass for anything but a Jewish person. They had to flee. More than 500,000 Hungarian Jewish people perished at the hands of that little mustache man. And then, that wasn't bad enough, Hungary fell to the Soviet Union. He finally escaped and met up with his brother in Britain in 1947, and George Soros went to the School of Economics, and he learned the difference between communism and fascism and the importance of a democratic society. This man moved his Budapest offices to Germany when right-wing Hungarian government was cracking down on civil society organizations, and they targeted Soros Foundation, who donates billions of dollars with no strings attached. And his foundation, the Open Society Foundation, works to combat authoritarianism and works to promote human rights around the world. Now, getting back to the Mango Moose Knuckle that loves Jewish people, and he said from Charlottetown, August 2017, oh, they were good people on both sides. No, there wasn't. Those people are still committing anti-Semitic crimes. Another article I read, Donald Trump, President of the United States, has a history of speech and actions that can be viewed by scholars and Jewish organizations and the public as anti-Semitic or fostering a political climate that is hospitable to anti-Semites. And that's what he did on both campaigns, 2016 and the 2021. He went out and them. They did this. They're taking this from you. They. He loves the land. That's all. The real estate, as he calls it. Or more important, he loves anywhere where he can build a big, gold, gaudy tower. He has said things to Jewish people like, American Jews better appreciate Israel before it's too late. Well, he's already taken a lot of shit from Qatar and selling them all kinds of weapons and stuff like that. And who do you think fosters hate against Israel? Hamas. Where does Hamas get all its weapons from? Qatar. At the Israeli American Council, October 2022, he said, Jews no longer love Israel. He loves to blow on dog whistles really hard. In campaign emails, drumming up conspiracy theories of George Soros, who hasn't hurt a fly. When he shows images of money mixed with stars of David and uses words like globalist and cabal, who do you think he's going after, and what are those messages meant to send out to which groups? Certainly not Israelis or Jewish people. Most of the magnidiots don't know what either one of those things are, but Pope King Trump said it so it must be a fact. Yeah, big thing, and it had all these $100 bills all tied up with Stars of David and stuff like that. Yeah. Globalist and cabal. That's the Jewish people that he loves, right? In August 2019, Trump was asked, should there be any change in aid sent to Israel? His answer, I think that only Jewish people that vote for a Democrat, I think furthering the normalization, wait a second, that vote for Jewish people, it shows a total lack of knowledge or great disloyalty. And to that, I say, if they didn't vote Republican, they are stupid and not loyal to his regime. His statement pissed off everybody from Jewish leaders to citizens, and it goes back to the 1930s and 40s where that one little mustache man said Jews were disloyal to the Reich, they can't be trusted, and they are imbeciles. And Trump says it shows by their lack of knowledge or great disloyalty. March 18th, 2024, any Jewish person that votes for a Democrat hates their religion. They hate everything about Israel, and they should be ashamed of themselves because Israel will be destroyed. He keeps bringing that up like he knows there's a plan of some sort, and he's just been playing Bibi all this time while Bibi's been playing him so he can get more weapons. I don't know, that's my guess. But he keeps saying that if they vote Democrat, that Israel will be destroyed. Well, he's in power, and he's taking money from the very people that are trying to destroy Israel. Give your head a shake. The Democratic Party has turned to a full-blown anti-Israel, anti-Semitic, pro-terrorist cabal. There's that word again. Trump defended that thing. The Jewish Council for Public Affairs claimed that Trump is furthering the normalization of dangerous anti-Semites. He invokes an anti-Semitic trope that Jews have dual loyalty and are more loyal to Israel than their own country. So is that why Israel needs to be destroyed? And don't forget the famous line, if I don't get elected, then the Jewish people would have a lot to do with a loss. And criticizing liberal Jews for voting for the enemy by claiming the Democratic Party has a hold or curse on Jewish Americans. He said in September 2024, I am not going to call this a prediction, but in my opinion, the Jewish people would have a lot to do with a loss if I'm at 40%. Well, you're now at about 37%. Little mustache to them is the same thing, and look what happened. He told the Latinos for Trump the same thing. Now 530,000 of them are going to get deported back to the fascist and authoritarian regimes they fled. So if he's willing to push these tropes and surround himself with white supremacists right now in his cabinet that are serving with him, then you should believe absolutely nothing that comes out of his ass lips. Right? Right. Anyway, 99 loves you. Be good, be safe, and please take care of you first so you can take care of somebody else. I'm doing my best to take care of me. My little episode yesterday was just a little episode. I have diverticulitis and IBS, and shit happens sometimes. Pardon the pun. But yeah, my gut acts up, and sometimes I look like shit. So anyway, like me, love me, share me. Hangers on. Mwah. I love you, and I appreciate each and every one of you. And when I screw up, tell me. Tell me. It's okay. And the other thing is, don't forget to subscribe. I love you. Bye.